And that was our update this last Friday. Am I impressed? No, but I'm not here to defend a gaming studio. I'm here to talk about what they are putting out regarding Life by You. So let's get into it. My name is Michael and welcome back to Sovereign Gaming. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, I never thought that I would have to make a video like this, but I think that we really need to discuss the marketing that the public is receiving in Life by You, because at the time I am writing, recording, and editing this video, last Friday Paradox's Life by You team just released what I used in the intro, and it was underwhelming to say the least. Before I go on, yes, I am going to take on a more critical tones in this video because it is, quite frankly, warranted at this point. I'm not spending my free time with this hobby of mine defending a gaming studio when it is ultimately the player that foots the bill at the end of the day for a product that they are promising. I also want to clear a couple of things up as well. 1. I understand that this game is still in development and we are looking at an early release version. 2. Anything that is made public by Paradox's Life by You team can be discussed and responded to as it is presented to us, and that includes last Friday's video. 3. My intention with this video is to observe, apply a professional lens, and respond while also being respectful. After all, there are real people that work behind the Life by You scenes, and I intend to provide my feedback in a respectful, positive, mature manner. It doesn't mean that I'm going to hold back, but that's what I intend for the rest of this video. Last Friday, as part of their routine Friday updates, Paradox published a 30-second video showing off the conversation system, and I have to be honest, I was totally flabbergasted as to how underwhelming this promotional piece actually was. That 30-second clip would have better served as a YouTube short or a TikTok video. Yet it was presented to the life simulation gamer community as the leading piece of content from Paradox for the week. It was not only a video that I openly criticize as being presented in the wrong format, being a long-form video as opposed to a YouTube short, but it highlights one of the least discussed features of the game within the community, and that is the conversation system. I cannot defend the choice that was made for this video to lead the weekly update with the Life by You community, not with Paradox producing Life by You, and I won't defend it either. In my opinion, this video did more damage to the community and the brand because it broke one of the fundamental rules in marketing, and that is, to earn brand trust and grow your community, you have to be consistent with publishing content and your messaging, and that consistency carries over to the quality as well, depending on what expectations you have set up with your community. So if you're going to make any changes on how you do things, you need to guide your audience and make them aware of what to expect. And so because last Friday's video really didn't meet my expectations at the very least, I was left a little underwhelmed there. And none of that was really applied here as well. The expectation that Paradox had built with the Life by You community is that there would be an update every Friday. And what they had delivered in the past is usually a 5 to 10 minute video showing off the game and its features. That was the quality that their community was expecting, since they have been pretty consistent about delivering these kinds of updates since April. Last Friday, that consistency was fractured, I'm sorry to say, and it has now, in my opinion, shaken the trust with the Life by You brand. Now granted, I can totally understand that not every marketing campaign is perfect, with stumbles here and there, but breaking your consistency without warning your community and your following is a big marketing no-no. And it doesn't help that the life simulation gaming community isn't just a regular community of video gamers either. And that does apply to their specific target market as well, which was admitted in the Life by You art dev to be a more older, mature simmers. I'll explain, but we gotta go back in time first for a little bit. So let me take you back to the year 2000 when The Sims 1 was first released. Back then, computers were clunkier, slower, some connected to internet using dial-up, and of course 3D graphics were all the rage in video games at the time. The Sims 1 made headlines back in the day as a hit life simulation game and was frequently featured in the electronics section of the local shopping flyers. Back then, Amazon didn't exist like it does today, So you either looked out for the game in the flyers, or you called into the store to speak with an associate who would then have to physically go out on the floor to look for the game just for you, and just because you called, they probably did so begrudgingly. Not to age myself here on YouTube, but yes, I did live through those times where technology and video games were burgeoning and really beginning to pick up momentum to really dominate our lives. Anyways, people were hooked on The Sims 1, and it pushed the envelope even further in the video game industry by introducing some of the video game industry's first set of DLC, also known as expansion packs. Now, I don't need to reiterate the entire history of The Sims up until The Sims 4, as that would be a different video entirely. However, I wanted to point out that The Sims has always marketed itself as a life simulator or a people simulator, and that an entire generation grew up playing The Sims from 2000 all the way until today. The marketing of The Sims franchise never really had to change over the years because there was truly no competition on the market to face The Sims, quite frankly. They even started publishing their games for console systems, dominating that market as well. Basically, I am trying to say that there was a lot of brand trust built up in the last 2 decades. And I gotta say, they took that brand trust for granted with The Sims 4. My personal opinion on this is that EA got too confident with their Sims franchise. They got lazy and didn't feel like they had to fight to win customers, since it was pretty much guaranteed that a Sims 1 player would convert into a Sims 2 player, and so on and so forth. And by getting lazy with their product, as seen with The Sims 4 in my opinion, what ended up happening was that they left a lot of marketing gaps for other gaming studios to fill. This is where Life by You comes in. You see, what makes the life simulation gamer community so different than other video gamers is that they are extremely involved in their communities, and they are also extremely sensitive to when a video game is trying to make a quick buck off of them, as they have been pilfered and profited off of for the last 20 plus years. In other words, it is super easy to break the trust with the life simulation gamer community, and they will be very vocal about it online, me included. Now, I'm not saying that my trust has been completely shattered to pieces. Actually, I am giving Life by You the benefit of the doubt for what they released last week, and I'll kind of get into that a little later on, but I digress there. Anyways, according to Wikipedia, it is said that The Sims 4 has 70 million players worldwide. That's a lot of money going into EA's coffers, folks. I don't know what the objectives are from the marketing team with Life by You, but I would think that one of those objectives would be to generate hype and excitement for the game up until the early access release, along with educating their community on what to expect up until that time. And I have to question how that 30-second video showing an ancillary feature of the game helps to generate that hype and excitement when it, in my opinion, fractures the quality that the players are used to receiving from the team. Remember that brand trust and the expectations thing about consistency that I spoke before? This is kind of where it applies here. The thing that really doesn't sit right with me in all of this is that they don't have to look too far for inspiration on how to generate hype and excitement for a campaign. Namely, I'm talking about Paradox's other upcoming game, City Skylines 2. Sure, they likely don't have the same marketing budget, but the content principles are the same, being that all they really have to do is show a 5 to 10 minute video explaining a feature, and then maintain that publishing consistency and that publishing schedule and pattern. Speaking of scheduling, this last Friday's announcement also has me questioning how organized the content leading up to early access actually is. So counting this week, they have 10 weeks of lead up time to the launch of early access, and they're putting out a 30-second video showing a single conversation that nearly nobody is asking for. I know I am being critical, but there needs to be a plan to achieve a better flow of content to show off, and that's where City Skylines 2 is really excelling at right now, in my opinion. By the time October comes around, I have a strong feeling that players are going to know exactly what they're going to get for City Skylines 2. Now granted, it is being released as a full game, but the storytelling and consistency principles of marketing still remain the same for the marketing efforts with Life by You, which brings it back to some of the marketing objectives being to generate hype and a community, along with actually educating the community on the product itself and what to expect come this September. Before last Friday's weekly update, I would have given Paradox's Life by You marketing a B+. Today, I'm giving it a C+ or a C for breaking their consistency and putting the trust of the players into jeopardy. It was a bad marketing move on their part, and I cannot be convinced otherwise. Now, I consider myself to be a more positive person. However, as a consumer of this product, I do have the freedom to express how I'm feeling about it, and I do want to stay true to myself. But I digress. I actually really wanted to say here that it isn't how far you fall or how badly you stumble, it's how you get up. And I will share how Life by You can start earning players' trust back with a couple of ideas of my own. So here's some reflections that I want to put out regarding the marketing of Paradox's Life by You game. 1. I would argue that their best publication was the announcement trailer and the interviews that Rod Humble gave. It showed off a lot of the features of the game, it actually set up some expectations for the players, and Rod Humble said a lot of really cool things that expanded on what players can expect. 2. I would argue that the second most influential piece of publication that they put out was actually the Art Dead stream. It had a lot of mixed reactions to it, but it ultimately grew the Reddit community significantly, and the community was certainly busy talking about it, including me. It also gave the Life by You team a lot of honest feedback on what the players wanted to see. Namely, they want to see the characters evolve more, with the Life by You humans is what I really mean to say. Anyways, 3. Life by You is offering players an experience that is, in my opinion, unmatched gameplay-wise. The community wants this game to succeed, and they genuinely want this choice in the life simulation gaming space. It went above and beyond what they could expect for in a game, and that was conveyed in the announcement trailer. My unsolicited advice to the Life by You marketing team here is to ramp up your promo publishing until September 12th, when the early access releases. You have 10 weeks to generate hype, build a community, and educate the players on what they are about to receive come this September. If you have to, take 2 weeks to create a content plan and create the content itself to start publishing on a consistent basis. To earn back consumer trust, you need to start publishing quality content consistently. It's clear that Life by You has a talented bunch designing, coding, and all of that, but all of that hard work needs to be shown in the best light possible. And a common critique amongst my viewers is that it doesn't seem that we are getting the best quality in the publications of what we are shown, and everyone knows about the blurry filter around the text. Another way to ramp up your promos would be to start publishing blogs again. You haven't published a blog since April. If you start publishing this week, you only need 10 blogs, and you could publish blogs at the beginning of the week and return to publishing real videos on Fridays. That would be plenty of content for players to engage and talk about. I also think that the Paradox Life by You marketing team needs to do a better job at social listening. The community hasn't been talking about the conversation system, but they have been talking about the look of the Life by You human characters, build mode, world or town building, and how the Life by You characters will actually behave in game. There are so many unanswered questions about the Life by You game as we know it, even though we are only 10 weeks away from the early access release. And these unanswered questions have even led me to develop 2 weeks worth of Life by You content videos. So yes, as I publish this video, I have at least 2 weeks worth of content scheduled to go live. And that's because my questions aren't getting answered directly. This is a good problem though on my end. Now, I know I have been very critical of Life by You and how their promotional efforts are being executed, but I just want to reiterate again that it is not how far you fall, it's about getting back up. And if the game is anything like what we are led to believe, even in the early access version, then I have faith that the recovery for the excitement surrounding the new life simulation game will be restored in due time. Before I close out on this video, I just want to reiterate that I am very much appreciative of what the Paradox Life by You team has developed, and I'm very impressed with the product itself. I have a tremendous amount of respect for them and what they do, and I'm very much still hopeful that the best early access version possible will be published come this September. However, my critique and analysis based on the 30-second video published this last Friday still stands, and I feel that we can have a respectful discussion surrounding the customer journey leading up to the early access release from the consumer's perspective. So, what do you think about the content that has been promoted to us about Life by You so far? Do you think that Paradox needs to step in to market its product better? Do you think that the last video they published was effective in educating us on the game? Or do you think that the pace of the Life by You's marketing fits with the upcoming early access release? Feel free to sound off in the comments below. I just ask that you are respectful. And until next time, I just want to thank you for watching, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, then feel free to subscribe and like this video for more. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day.